Welcome to the Insight Drop, short segments to fuel your growth, sharpen your strategy, and challenge the status quo. This is Beyond Tradition. In this case, we're talking about, again, defining the roles within the household and within businesses. So this is really applicable, and more so for those for those people who have partners, whether they're working outside of the home, whether you're building the business together and running the house together. And really talking about more in depth about the language that we use and the way we go about defining these things, just because you and I both know.
What do we know?
If these things are not addressed and if we feel like we're carrying the majority of the burden, then resentment will build. The end.
Yeah.
Or we will burn out. That's the other thing.
Yes.
So one of my big things that I've noticed, especially amongst my friends, I think I'm an elder millennial technically, but definitely a millennial. And we now
I hate being in this category, but yeah.
Yeah, sorry. We, societally speaking, we live in a patriarchy. You can deny that all you want. You can say that we don't. We do. We have. Sorry.
Just throwing that out there.
Sorry, we're in a patriarchy.
Go back and watch our beginning episodes.
Exactly.
We went back and forth about this. We're not doing that today.
We're not going to do that today. But if women had been equal from the very beginning, we would not be having these conversations. Unfortunately, we were treated as property. We didn't have equal rights. We couldn't vote. We couldn't have businesses. We didn't have the same financial freedom as men until 50 years ago. I mean, obviously, right to vote was the 20s, but you think about the Equal Opportunity Act was the 70s, the fact that we couldn't own businesses until the 80s. So we are now in an era where we are reaching equality, but a lot of those systemic and underlying gender tones are still there. I mean, we are still battling to a degree. And so what I've seen, we've made leaps and bounds progress-wise. Like, obviously, now we can own businesses. You and I are great examples of that, right? We can have our financial freedom.
Yes.
But what we're seeing and what I'm seeing, and that all of my friends will echo that are around our age, is that we were raised. I know my grandpa or grandma said it. My dad said it. You do not rely on a man. A man is not a plan. You get your degree.
A man is not a plan.
A man is not a plan.
I like that. Because our moms grew up in the 70s.
Yeah.
So they were like in the movement.
And think about our grandmas, like our grandmothers had to rely on men for their finances, for their livelihood. And they stayed in a lot of not so great relationships because they had to. They couldn't survive outside of them, which sucks. Now, I'm not saying that there weren't wonderful men back then that did the right thing, were,
there were plenty of them, for sure.
And they were in love and this, that, and the other. But I can say on the other end of that spectrum, both of my grandparents, my grandpas were cheaters.
Oh, really?
Yeah. My grandmas dealt with abuse.
That sucks.
All kinds. And financial abuse is still a thing.
Yeah.
That happens. We are not saying that this does not happen to men either.
No, it goes both ways.
We are very aware that financial abuse and other things happen
100%.
on both spectrums, but we are going to speak to more of the broader, specific, like systemic, societal issues we still face. So as a millennial woman, again, I was taught that you get your degree, you have your own job, you make sure that you can survive if something happens.
Yeah. I think we were all taught that.
Yes.
College was jammed down all of our throats.
It was. But the flip side of that is we watched our mothers and our grandmothers still take care of the household, still take care of the kids. It was still very much the men work, the women household, right? Household and kids.
Yeah.
Very, very much. My dad did the outside work.
Yeah.
Which had to happen like once a week. And then mom handled all the inside, right?
Yeah.
And that's still a prevalent dynamic that happens. And so now we've got women our age who are keeping up earnings wise with our partners or
making more.
breadwinning, right?
I know a few women. Yeah. Some of my friends are breadwinners in their house. And there's nothing, again,
no,
that's fine.
Different.
Yeah.
Right. The key is like equitable division of the household tasks.
Yes.
No, I didn't say equal. I said equitable. So I think equitable needs to be some of the terminology that we talk about too.
Yeah, because equal's hard. Equal's hard to, you know,
50-50 stupid.
Yeah, it's if you have a little bit more time on your, you know what I mean?
Right.
And there's ebbs and flows of owning a business. Sometimes you guys know, like I know
Right.
there were times you're putting in 15-hour days and then
it
other
sucks.
weeks, you know, or other days you only have to do 2 or 3 hours.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I think everything has to ebb and flow and you have to be flexible.
That's
But
exactly.
again, but clear communication,
Yeah.
setting expectations, you know, having flexibility with all of it, I think is huge.
Yeah.
So,
And I think the big key too is that, again, we were raised work, career, education. But a lot of the men our age and and maybe a little bit older still had mothers that did everything for them. So they were never really active participants in the households because mom did everything. Mom, grocery, all of the meals, all of the laundry, all of the household cleaning. So it's creating now this dynamic where we are naturally falling into this role of, I'm going to call it a household engineer because there's not another word for it. You're a household engineer or you're a project manager. Because when you think about everything that goes into a household and kids, especially, it's a huge mental load. And what really like gave me the words, the verbiage, because you obviously get overwhelmed. You have this resentment building because everything begins to be mom's, like, mom handles this. Mom, why is this not done? Well, you know, eventually,
for sure.
We've all dealt with that in our lives, I'm sure.
Yes. If you've been married and you have kids.
Yeah, and you've lived together.
Or if you've lived with somebody, you know what I mean? I'm sure.
Yeah. Everything
Even a
starts.
Responsibility of an animal, a dog or a cat. You know what
Right,
I mean?
you
Like
know.
it's
And the key is to not let that resentment happen, but that has to be like clear communication.
Yeah, 100%. And again, setting the expectations up front. You know, you have to, when you meet somebody and again, things change as you grow, as you have kids, as you move, as you build a business, as you change career paths, you know, like every time there's a big movement within your household, there should be a new conversation, new expectations, new just ground rules, whatever you want to call them. You know what I mean? So that way everyone's always on the same page. So you don't let that resentment build.
Exactly.
Because that's what tears a lot of people apart.
I will be honest, a lot of this language now and like defining these terms has been newer for me. Like Trevor and I have been together since, again, we moved in together when I was 19. He was 21.
Crazy, man.
Literally nuts. But
babies.
Like, I obviously didn't know this stuff back then, but I still felt these feelings. So what really TikTok, thanks. But but also I learned there's actually a really great resource that I will always recommend for couples, is called Fair Play. And Fair Play, I think, let me double check, but it's Eve Brodsky.
Okay.
And it's a book, but there's also a film or a video. I believe it's on Hulu and YouTube as well.
Okay.
You don't have to do the book if you don't want to. Watching it really gets into, like, again, traditional gender roles, how the traditional gender roles that we were raised with, our grandmas, our moms were raised with, they really lead to an unequal division of domestic tasks, with women bearing the majority of the burden. So obviously we're getting out of that. We're moving in the right direction. But part of these things, and what really like motivates me for this podcast, is giving the language. And one of the biggest things that I learned is the mental load, like the mental load. Because you have to understand, like in my day, like in my head on any given day, I'm thinking about what needs to be cleaned. What does Kason need? When do, doctor's appointments? I do car maintenance, like I just ordered my tires and scheduled my appointment. And What do we need for the business? What do we need? What bills do I need to pay?
Mhm.
Where are our savings at? Like the mental, and then
Oh,
dinner
what are you
again.
eating? Exactly.
Again,
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner
breakfast, lunch, and
snacks.
dinner,
Mhm.
groceries, lists,
Oh, yeah.
all of it. When we're talking about the mental load of that one task, those are all the consideration and brain power that you're using just for dinner, just for food,
Yeah.
just for that grocery
That's a
list,
job in its of
right?
its own, honestly. I
Literally.
mean, that and then the household maintenance,
Mhm.
I think I touched on this before, but again, I have to throw it out there. There are some women that want to be household managers. They want to be
Happy.
stay at
Yeah.
homes. Good for you. It is the toughest job
Yep.
I have ever done in
Mhm.
my life for a very short period of time.
And you should be
you
compensated
yeah,
accordingly.
you should be compensated. You should have days off like everybody, and no, not just an hour to go to Target by yourself. Like,
Literally,
sorry, that's not a day off. You need a moment to
no.
yourself. You need
Going to take a
breaks.
shower,
Yeah,
that's not a break.
no, that's not a break.
That is you taking
That's a
care of
smoke
yourself.
break. That's a
Right,
smoke break.
literally, like that's not
It's a 15-minute
that's not a
union break right there.
favor,
Exactly.
right.
That's not a real
day off.
yeah,
No.
day off. And I think and I think that's the hardest part about being a stay. But I have a few friends that absolutely love it and they wouldn't trade it for anything.
Yeah.
But
Love that for
they
them.
enjoy, like, that is their job. Like,
Mhm.
they act like it's not. And I always have to, I'm like, you're managing an entire house. You know
Mhm,
what I mean?
mhm.
It's not like it's just you. Like, when you're by yourself, sure. Like,
Yeah.
it's easy.
Yeah.
You know, you
Right?
could just go
Yeah.
get what you, but when you have to take in other people and others, like your spouse's schedules, your
What's
kids'
our budget?
schedules. Yeah. What's on the budget? What can this person eat? So,
Yeah.
yes.
And so,
Yeah. Mhm.
that
And
and
then when kids start playing sports and have
Ugh.
after school
right?
activities and all of
Ugh.
these things, and then you've become the Uber and you're driving
Oh my
around. And
gosh.
so,
I wish there was a
yes.
safe kid Uber. I think there is one around here, but I will never. So.
No, could you imagine?
But I just wish we had a
When I retire in a couple years, I'm just gonna get a little short bus and just be like, "What's
Love
up?"
that.
Like, just
Yeah. And so that's kind of the thing. Like, I'm very much against but let me tell you, like, these again were not things that Trevor and I, either one, knew how to talk about, understood from the other person. And what makes me now more than ever is, oh, just give me a list. Who is making my list? Why am I the list maker? And why are you not a functioning adult?
That is a wonderful, again.
And again, that's societal programming. That's
Yeah,
how our brains,
it is.
right?
There's certain things, clear communication is definitely, and being flexible is one thing, but
Listening to your partner,
Mhm.
that's the key, and hearing the partner, because you have to understand that you're living life through your lens and through the societal kind of roles that we have. Like, I understand most men are not going to understand our point because they've not lived life as a woman, just like we don't understand a lot of men's things because we
But they
don't.
still lived on their own, or they still had to do their own laundry. They still had to,
Right.
like, go grocery shop, or maybe they
Yes.
didn't. I mean, you and Trevor moved in as babies, so maybe
Right.
you guys didn't. Maybe he came straight from mom to you,
Yeah.
and you know what I mean, and
He's
didn't.
really great. I will
Yeah,
say,
like,
I was toxic. When I was like, I wasn't taught really healthy communicating.
yeah,
And there were times when, I'm working 40 hours a week. We have a kid. We have a house. I'm cooking dinner. I'm doing the grocery shopping. I'm paying our bills. I'm making sure everything's taken care of. And the one thing that I would ask is, like, if I'm cooking, you do the dishes.
yeah,
And of
that's
course,
fair.
yes, but you need to define, like, what you're both okay with and compromise with, because
Yeah.
there are times where it tends to be women are very critical of how they do certain things or how they expect things to be done. So there needs to be, like, kind of a mutual understanding of, like, this is what I can handle and this is what you can handle.
See, dishes don't bother me.
Yeah, I hate them.
Yeah, that doesn't. I don't mind doing laundry. It's putting it away. I'll fold it all up.
Same. You and
I
are the same.
I will do all of it. And I know, like my friends, like, they're cute and they don't mean anything. They love their husbands more than anything.
Yeah.
They're just like, he just doesn't fold the towels right.
Oh,
and
that's
I'm like, excuse me, There's no wrong way to
There's
fold
no
a towel.
wrong way. That's
I
been
am
a fight
so
with us,
sorry.
too.
Like, it's one of those, there's zero wrong way to fold a towel.
Yeah.
One of my best friends, and I'm just like, babe, I'm like,
It
who
doesn't
cares?
matter. Right.
I'm like, it's
Let it
done.
go.
It's done. You don't have to worry about it. The task is done. They're clean towels.
Yeah.
Who cares? Like,
Dude, who
literally.
cares? Okay, so now I will say
I
too,
mean-
I haven't done Trevor's laundry in years and years.
I think that's the smartest route. I've noticed couples
Mhm.
that do, and this is, you know, living life.
Yeah.
Couples that do their own laundry each seem to be happier
Yeah.
than when it's one person's
Mhm.
responsibility.
And he and I both, we kind of go, again, flexibility, ebb and
Mhm.
flows. There are times when I live out of my laundry basket for weeks. It is what
Workout
it is.
clothes are working. Okay.
Right, it
We're
is
not
what it
getting
is.
into our.
No. There are times when Trevor lives out of his baskets
We need
for
house
weeks.
managers.
Yeah. And then there are times when he and I are both on the spot. All of our laundry's done.
Yeah.
It's put up where it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
So giving
Oh,
each other
that's cute.
that.
That happens.
It does.
I'm proud of you
We're
guys.
close now.
I'm really proud of you.
But exactly. He was starting to do my laundry,
That's
which was very
amazing.
sweet. Yes. And now too, if I get overwhelmed, and I did find this service because during my hospital and all of the
Yeah.
you know, I was on the bed in the
stuff.
bed for months, most recently until about what was that? April, May.
Yeah.
There's apps now and they will come get your laundry. Yeah, they come pick it up and they take it and you get it back the next day and it is folded and organized and wrapped in little ribbons. So all you have to do is take it. It's Poplin, but there's other ones out there.
Okay.
But I will say that's part of like delegating and outsourcing as you kind of move through things.
Yeah, for sure. And if
you
you can't, then you have to just delegate them within your household and you just
Mhm.
make a list of all the stuff you really hate.
Yeah.
Like, I'll wash the clothes, I'll fold them, and
Yeah.
it's your turn. You put them away. That's it.
to be quite honest,
You know?
Kason is our dishwasher guy. He's
Yeah.
our unloader.
He should be. He's at that
Yes.
age. He's,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he's at the age where he can definitely start helping out
Oh, yeah.
more around the house,
Yeah.
you know?
This episode, like again, we really want to just nail down fair play, great resource.
Yeah. Yes.
Clear communication,
Mhm.
mutual agreement, taking tasks, and having that conversation. Like, and it can be like, okay, this week I've got dinners all week. Next week you get dinners all week, right?
Yes.
So again, this episode wrapping up: clear
Yes.
communication, setting expectations, mutually agreed upon standards of clean.
Yeah.
This
Being flexible. Listen to your
flexible.
partner. You know what I mean? If they really don't like to do something, and if you really don't like to do something, then it's time to outsource it.
right, time to delegate,
You know,
time to outsource.
exactly.
This even
Rock,
goes
paper, scissors.
and applies to your business.
Oh, yeah.
Especially
100%.
if you're doing it together. But
Yeah.
as an entrepreneur, same thing.
Mhm.
Delegate, outsource. Fair play. Again, highly
Yeah,
recommend
I'm
fair
going to look
play.
into it. That's fun.
Yeah. Watch it. It's like, I don't know, hour of your time. Watch it.
Whole hour. Whew,
I know.
asking too much.
Read a book. Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
All right, cool. And we will see you next time.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.